thought that they should spend a tidy sum at the hairdresser and which had other priorities.
Before we start, I'd just like to say that whatever Bill's just said, I like to keep my hair looking nice, so that's a judgment I can make for yourselves. Just before we begin, we've had some trouble before with years previous. I just want to make sure Terry is here. Terry, can you just stand up for a second? Terry Reid. I want to make sure, just to clarify, last year Terry Reid was given an award for constantly being late to class, but she was unable to receive the award as she was late to vet. Anyway, good evening everyone. Welcome to everyone, to Pro Vice Chancellor Ian Ronsky, to the Dean, to all the staff that have made it tonight, and to our graduates and all their support crew, like parents and friends that have travelled long distances to be here. For those that don't know us, I'm Daniel, this is Jess, and for those that do know us, we're still Daniel and Jess. Or Ron, as I've kind of been known in the last 5 years. Now, 5 years ago, it was around about 85 of us, young and bright-eyed young vet students, tried to finish the HLT for their first lecture, or finding their spots to sit that they'll probably keep for the next 5 years. First lecture was an orientation tour around the vet school from our second year mentors, which we didn't really see from then on. Went around the vet school for a bit and that was all a bit of fun. And a few days later, I don't know about the rest of you, but I experienced a very big shock in the cultural opportunity that was Farmers Party. Needless to say, it only got worse from there. From boat races to country music and the Eagle Rock, which became an integral part of not only our education, but of ourselves. During this time, memories were created, and memories were probably also destroyed, but we probably only have ourselves to blame for that. Now from this, honourable mention, I guess, for this is Dr. Lachlan Strohfeld, who managed, during our first Farmers Party, this is our HLT, during our first Farmers Party, to transform himself from a lactating dairy cow with the addition of 4X into some kind of stud bull / Viking, which has happened a few times over the course.
Right. As our studies continued in first year, we quickly realised that some of our lecturers are just as crazy as we were. The point was well demonstrated when a well-respected botanist demonstrated the difference between plant and animal cell walls by throwing an apple and a juicy rump steak at the wall, matching the stain left in the previous years. From plant biology to animal biology to 6 p.m. practicals, which no one really paid attention to, our knowledge began to grow.
Our second year began with a bit of a shock. We had timetables that changed every week, suddenly we had dissections that went 6 hours straight, and anatomy exams that to this day we don't think we could pass. Special mention for this year, Vaughan Seed, for his extravagant vocabulary throughout the year, some that we don't understand, some that we do. Some that we do include quotes such as, "Be careful with these saws as they may engage your fingers with a deleterious effect." Despite the danger of these saws, and with our assumed knowledge bank slowly growing, we managed to get through the year with all of our fingers and some of our egos intact. As we began our third year, we were exposed to the 3 Ps: pathology, parasitology, and pharmacology. We were provided with endless entertainment from some lecturers, including Dr. Con Constantinian, who successfully kept us awake through the endless parasitology lectures. Tried to keep most of us awake, like Guy, Yaka, etc. I just want to ask if there's any questions from James. We alright? Good to go? Reggie? No? Alright.
We can't forget our pathology lectures, who also kept us awake by ruining our massive range of foods, including cottage cheese and strawberry jam. As the year continued, and as we reached the middle of the year, we ventured out to Longreach for the highly acclaimed and unforgettable Sheep Week. Well, what can we say about that? What happens in Longreach stays in Longreach. But I do tend to remember some crazy bus driver and a busted radiator. And is Tony Parker here? Moving on from this year, we found that we suddenly were able to tell our families about some weird and wonderful diseases, and I'm sure our families absolutely and utterly enjoyed over the dinner table.
So as we progressed into fourth year, we realised that for all our complaining in the previous years about results, about our timetable, and about pretty much everything else in the vet school, we hadn't actually seen a hard day's union until now. Oh, shit. Suddenly, 8 AM to 5 PM days in the lecture theatre were normal, and our 10-minute breaks between lectures were mandatory, as some lecturers found out when they tried to go overtime. Some of us became successful in catching up on lost sleep while sitting upright, while others just utilised the full surroundings in our 10-minute breaks to the best effect. Some lecturers, however, went above and beyond to try and keep certain people in the class awake. They had lots of different methods, and some included showing us photos of them in their underwear for case studies that they came up with. I won't say who that was, we all know. One lecture in particular giving us time to giggle like little schoolgirls at the concept of hot, cold and warm boning in the laboratory. And using these unforgettable quotes such as, "The bulge is your friend," Angela Hartman in radiology. "Measure, drill, tap and screw," that is what we do. Transmitted surgery. And last but definitely not least, "Were the chicks wet or sticky?" Dr. Peter Groves in our culture. Somehow, God knows how, we survived the year and moved on to the final and probably the most exciting chapter of our undergraduate degree.
A little over 10 months ago, we began our final journey on the road to becoming a knowledgeable and mature vet. Well, at least the vet thinks so. There have been challenging moments, long days, memorable moments. Some of these moments have been immortalised, in particular by the post by Ryan Howard, documenting some of our infamous quotes for the year. As a cohort, we have voted on these and we have decided to include our top 3. So, the winner is, with the most votes from Ryan, after unable to identify some of the signs of a dog's sex on a radiograph. Okay, Ryan, I want you to sit there, close your eyes, and just think about a dog's penis.
Just to clarify, because this does come up again a bit later on. For those who don't know, dogs actually have a bone in their penis, male dogs, which is evident on radiograph, and that will obviously that'll become obvious a bit later on as well. But he's our winner for the year with the most likes. I think 31 likes we had for that one. Our next one was also put up there by Ryan Howard, and it was a bit of a you put up a fair few this year, so good on you, Ryan. This was actually the first one put up from that first post. He knows what it is. And it involves a member of our cohort that I was discussing before, Dr. Terry Reid. "The snails have legs." Now, I know we didn't go through snail anatomy in second year. We went through dogs and cats and horses and cows and exotics, but we didn't go through snails, but really. And our third person this year is Ingrid Groger-Stone.
We cannot forget her from one of our parasitology rotations. Ron, our parasitologist. Ryan, how would you treat a dog with whipworm in the dog? Ryan, could we do rotational grazing? Needless to say.
Right, so the next one I'm sure Bill will enjoy. I'm not sure if you heard this conversation back up in Malanda. It's a conversation between Matt Brown and Antonello Petro. Now, on our sheets that we are given before we go to a dairy farm, we are given a whole bunch of statistics on the farm that we're going to, pregnancy rates, their lactation, and lots of other things through the dairy farm. And one of those columns just says MT, which which I think that most people would gather that MT really is just empty, as in not pregnant. Nell, it's further down. Nell struggled with this concept. The following quote is,
What does MT mean for a pregnant cow?
so Matt Brown, it's empty.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
It's empty.
I know, but what does it stand for? I mean,
I'm sure you get the picture. I'm sure you were on call the night before. Maybe you didn't get much sleep. Maybe you were drinking. We don't know. But we thought that was a good honourable mention for this one.
do you want to go backwards? I think we have to go backwards. So, Lockie Strofel in Comp 2 Radiology. So this is a radiograph of a female cat, Fernando. Why is it female, Lockie? Lockie, because it doesn't have an Oz pendant.
Which is the name for it. So, on to the last honourable mention, and possibly my favourite, to be honest. It was one that I've laughed at a few times going through this. It was actually from Ben Roney, and I'm guessing it was on pathology rotation with Matt Redwell. There's a quote from Liz Parker. Hey guys, did you know that this week is Teaching and Learning Week at JCU? To which Richard replies, shouldn't this be every week?
But after 5 years, we stand here, not so young, bright-eyed, but with a wealth of knowledge and a piece of paper to prove it. It has been an incredible journey with lots of laughter, tears and joy. And we would not have been able to do it if not for our friends and all the support of our family and colleagues. They have put up with so much, and we would like to thank everyone for their help and support throughout this journey. We couldn't have done it without you. Special thank you must go to all the staff, vets, nurses, receptionists, lecturers and all the support staff at JCU. Who you have answered all our questions, replied to all our emails, Ruth, displayed a huge amount of patience, and it definitely couldn't have been possible without you. We will be always grateful and will always remember you.
So we also want to say, she's been recognised earlier tonight, but we just want to say a huge thank you to our year coordinator, both in 4th and 5th year, Dr. Wood Sutcliffe.
You poor bugger, you've had 2 years.
Most people only had one. At the moment, we can't actually, it's not actually up here because we forgot to grab it beforehand, but we do have... Oh, okay. Well, we'd like to invite Ruth up to the stage just for a second to give you a small token of appreciation. So everyone's over the last few years and over the whole veterinary course, your work and support has been invaluable to us, and it will continue to be throughout our careers. So we just want to present this to you from the students. So thanks so much. Because you made me really nervous coming up here, that sort of things. That's right. But yeah, just a final thank you to everyone who supported us over the last 5 years. I know it's not been easy, but we've had a great time, and I hope everyone else has too. So thank you very much.
Enjoy the night.